Hello, my name is Andrew, and I would love to showcase my project. I basically built a simulator which simulates virus-based shells, i.e., geometrical representation of viruses, and i.e., their shells. As we see right now, we have the analog of the flu virus. This shape is called the icosahedron. There's also a wireframe in this engine. We can move it around. It's all written in C++, bare bones, OpenGL. So as I was saying, this engine simulates virus shells. Moving on, let's take something. Let's simulate a way more difficult virus. As we saw, the aforementioned virus was basically made out of 20 equilateral triangles. Let's see what type of symmetry my engine will make this time. Just to mention, what are viruses? Viruses are just origami-based shells in which that very shell contains the RNA or DNA. So basically, just as Achilles was only as strong as his heel, a virus is only as good as its shell. What I'm getting at is that just as its companion. Oh, here we go. A virus, the futility of a virus, actually, well, the efficiency of a virus mainly stems from its shell. A virus shell should be robust enough to withstand the body's immune system. Moreover, it should be fragile enough to when coming in contact to a cell to break down and let the RNA out. So basically, what my project does so basically, going for that knowledge, what my project does is just simulate specific virus shells, as I said before, which should be able to which should be efficient. Part of my power language skills. Basically, if you look at this, this is basically the same thing what you are seeing, but only in written form. As you see, this engine basically takes triangles and tries to form other shapes. Well, tries to form way more complex shapes. As we see right here, we see a pentagon as well as a couple of triangles mixed up together. Yeah. So the whole algorithm just takes a myriad of triangles, maps a grid of triangles, equilateral triangles, grids this pattern. It's basically an icosahedron, and from that grid takes all the lattices and basically makes a shell, very reminiscent of actually viruses. Let's simulate something even more difficult. Let me take two. Basically, what is the goal of this project? The goal of this project is to ultimately understand viruses. In the presence of a lot of ailments and with the advent of medicine, I just thought, why don't we tackle all these ailments, all these viral infections from the other way around? Instead of improving our immune system, why don't we just find a way how to disprove, how to hinder the activities of viruses? And that's why I thought that it would be great if we could just simulate specific viruses, simulate the shells of viruses, find a way. Well, it's up to researchers. I'm just a simple student. Find a way. Here we go. Something even more difficult, and find a way how to cripple the shell so that the shell will lose its rigidity, lose its robustness. See? Yeah, as I was saying, lose its rigidity and robustness, and won't be that efficient. So as we see, this shell is very much. My apologies for for the weak performance, I have very poor equipment, and um, I'm literally forced to ease on the microprocessor by not generating a couple of polygons. But I mean, we can already see that, for example, this is going to be a pentagon, and this is going to be a rectangle, and all them are going to form into one shell. Basically, this is enough to understand like the general gist of it. This is very reminiscent of the influenza or the that virus. How is it called? Zika virus. It's also actually, if I actually play my cards well right now, let's get to three. We can actually recreate something very similar to the Zika virus. Just give it a couple of seconds. By the way, if anyone is interested in the project, I wrote a whole readme about this project. Actually was greatly inspired by Mr. Hamish Todd's. He's a researcher from England. Mr. Hamish Todd's research on viral infections, and well, to be exact, on let's see if it's no, it's still compiling. His research was mainly based on how to enclose viruses, how to deduce the form of the shape of their shell, and I am doing literally the same right now, trying to formulate a shell pattern for a given virus. Actually, what I'm doing is trying to simulate an ideal symmetrical shell